Let me ask you a question. What if the biggest job cut in a company's history wasn't really about the economy at all? What if it was about something way more futuristic and, honestly, a little bit scary? Amazon just dropped a bombshell, saying it's cutting a massive number of corporate jobs. And the reason they gave? Well, it's a huge warning shot for pretty much every single white-collar professional out there.
30,000. Just let that number sink in. This is the figure that just sent a massive shockwave through the entire tech industry. 30,000. I mean, to put that into perspective, that's like taking the entire corporate workforce of a huge company and just poof, gone overnight. But these aren't just any jobs.
Now, we're talking about 30,000 corporate white-collar career track positions. This is Amazon's largest single workforce reduction since those big cuts back in 2022. So this isn't some small trim around the edges. It's more like a strategic amputation. And the big question on everyone's mind is why? Welcome to the AgileWoW podcast, your trusted partner in Agile, Scrum, and artificial intelligence. In this explainer, we're going to break down the numbers, get to the real reason behind these cuts, and really dig into what this means for the future of your job.
Okay, so first things first, let's just break down the numbers, because this wasn't some random across-the-board trim. When you look at the details, you can see it was a very deliberate, very strategic corporate move. I mean, the scale here is just staggering. We're talking about nearly 10% of Amazon's entire corporate staff. That's out of 350,000 people. And the cuts are hitting everywhere. HR, operations, the devices division, and even their golden goose, Amazon Web Services. The notification started going out on October 28th, a date a lot of people are not going to forget. But here's the kicker. While the official reasons are kind of what you'd expect, the CEO himself let slip a much bigger, more futuristic cause, and trust me, we are definitely going to get to that crucial piece of the puzzle. And to really get it, just look at this chart. Amazon is an absolute behemoth with over 1.5 million employees around the globe. Now, the vast majority, 1.2 million of them, are in warehouses and operations. This layoff specifically targets that much smaller but way more influential slice of 350,000 corporate and tech employees. So what does that tell you? The company isn't just trying to cut costs, it's fundamentally reshaping its brain.
So, how did Amazon end up here? I mean, a decision this huge doesn't just happen in a vacuum, right? It's really the result of years of specific choices and mounting pressures that kind of created the perfect storm for a massive corporate shakeup.
This timeline, right here, it tells the whole story. Between 2017 and 2022, you had the pandemic e-commerce explosion, and Amazon's corporate headcount tripled. I mean, no company can triple its brain trust that fast without getting a little bloated. So the first correction came in late 2022, 27,000 jobs gone. But clearly that wasn't enough. These 2025 cuts are phase 2, a much deeper cut of what they're now calling the Great Realignment. So it really boils down to 3 main forces. First, you've got the simple post-pandemic correction. They just hired way too fast, and now they're trying to right-size the ship. Second, you have CEO Andy Jassy's personal mission to just crush bureaucracy and flatten out all those layers of management. And third, and this is probably the most important one, are the huge cost pressures from slowing growth and the absolutely massive multi-billion-dollar investment they're pouring into AI. And you can see that pressure right here in this chart. Amazon Web Services, AWS, has been Amazon's profit engine for years. But look, in a recent quarter, AWS growth slowed down to about 17.5%. Meanwhile, its biggest rival, Microsoft Azure, grew by a mind-boggling 39%. So when your cash cow starts to slow down, you've got to find savings somewhere else to fund your big future bets. Which brings us to the most critical part of this whole story. Okay, remember that futuristic reason I teased a little earlier? This is it. This isn't just about spreadsheets and market corrections. This round of layoffs is explicitly, directly tied to the rise of artificial intelligence. This quote right here is the smoking gun. It's directly from CEO Andy Jassy in a memo to his staff. He is not hiding it, he's not beating around the bush, he is flat out stating that as Amazon rolls out more AI, they're going to need fewer humans. He's betting big that AI can do the work of thousands of these corporate employees, which will let the company get leaner, meaner, and more agile. It's a classic example of using technology not just for new cool features, but for a fundamental change in how you operate.
And this is why this story is so much bigger than just Amazon. It feels like a real turning point. You know, we've been hearing for years that AI was going to take jobs. Well, this is one of the first,
most high-profile times a tech giant is just admitting it out loud. And what Amazon does, others tend to follow. This is a signal to the entire corporate world. Just a quick reminder, this episode is brought to you by AgileWoW. If you're looking to level up your skills, check out our upcoming workshops on product management, agile leadership, and artificial intelligence. Visit our website, www.agilewow.com, for more details.
Now, a decision this big, it doesn't just happen in a bubble. It creates a huge ripple effect that impacts the entire tech industry, the local economy, and of course, thousands and thousands of individual lives. So let's take a look at the fallout.
First, let's zoom out a bit. Amazon isn't doing this in isolation. So far in 2025, the tech industry as a whole has already cut 98,000 jobs. The era of just unchecked growth in big tech, it's officially over. It's being replaced by this new era of AI-driven efficiency. And hey, if you're getting some value out of this breakdown, now would be a perfect time to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our future explainers.
Now check out how Amazon is handling the exit compared to its rivals. When Google and Meta had their big layoffs, they offered pretty generous packages. Amazon's, on the other hand, is noticeably leaner. And this isn't just about saving a few bucks. It's a strategic signal. It suggests a big shift away from that era of lavish tech perks and towards a much more aggressive, bottom-line focused strategy, a model where every single dollar saved on severance can be funneled directly into that AI arms race.
This lean approach to its corporate staff reveals this really fascinating paradox in Amazon's strategy. So while they're cutting 30,000 high-paying corporate jobs, they are simultaneously hiring 250,000 seasonal workers for their warehouses to get through the holiday rush. It's creating this tale of two workforces. One, the corporate brain, is shrinking and being permanently upgraded by AI, and the other, the operational muscle, stays flexible and just scales up and down with demand.
And the ripple effect isn't just digital, it's physical. It hits Main Street, and it hits hard. In Seattle, where Amazon's headquarters is, 450 restaurants closed in just the first half of 2025. That is 16% of the city's total. So when tens of thousands of high-earning tech workers lose their jobs, the local economy of coffee shops, restaurants, and small retailers feels the pain of those empty desks almost immediately.
So what does all this mean for the future? This isn't just a story about Amazon anymore. This is a story about the new reality of work in the age of AI. It's a huge sign of a fundamental shift that is really just getting started.
And that brings us to the final, unavoidable question this whole thing forces every single one of us to ask. Is my job AI-proof? Amazon has explicitly said that tasks performed by its corporate staff can now be automated. Think about the roles being eliminated: HR, operations, project management, jobs that are all about coordination, data analysis, and reporting. This isn't about robots on an assembly line anymore. This is about AI in the office, handling the very tasks so many of us do every single day. The new reality is that skills that an algorithm can't easily copy, like true strategic thinking, complex problem solving, genuine creativity, and empathetic leadership, are becoming more valuable than they have ever been. The future of work might not be about competing with AI, but about proving you can do the things it can't. So what's your answer to the question on the screen? Thanks for tuning in to the podcast, supported by AgileWoW. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow the podcast, leave us a review, and share it with your team. And if you want to advance your Agile journey, check out AgileWoW's upcoming trainings, events, and workshops, all designed to help you grow faster, smarter, and together. Until next time, stay agile, stay curious.